Hello guys! Welcome to Sissygram Genderbender Stories on YouTube. Today, I am bringing you a brand new genderbender story. If you like my voice, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Now, let's start the story. 8 students gathered around their instructor, Mr. Alistair Alex, in a classroom bathed in sunlight, which streamed through the tall windows and cast long shadows on the aged wooden floors. The air was electric, full of excitement and anticipation, and an energy that seemed to quicken everyone's heartbeat. Mr. Alex stood in front of the class with a hint of mischief in his voice. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "I have a proposition for you all." He paused, letting the curiosity of his students build as they exchanged glances. "How would you like to embark on a journey of self-discovery and artistic exploration?" A soft murmur passed through the room, and one student, a lanky young man named Maxim with messy brown hair and wire-rimmed glasses, leaned forward, his interest piqued. "What kind of journey, sir?" he asked, a blend of curiosity and nervousness in his voice. Mr. Alex's eyes gleamed with amusement as he began pacing slowly in front of them, his hands clasped behind his back. "Well, Maxim," he said, "last weekend, I had an extraordinary experience at a theater event. I found myself dressed as a woman for a performance, and it was illuminating to say the least. This revelation was met with some giggles and raised eyebrows, but Mr. Alex continued without hesitation. It made me think about the nature of performance, identity, and how we perceive ourselves and others. So, I propose an experiment for 1 week. We will all switch gender roles." The room erupted into a frenzy of questions, exclamations, and nervous laughter. Mr. Alex raised his hand to silence the group. Now, hear me out. This isn't just about dressing up. It's about fully immersing ourselves in a different perspective. We'll maintain our new persona 24/7 for the entire week, much like method, acting on a grand scale. Maxim's heart raced as a mixture of excitement and terror surged through him. He'd secretly longed for an opportunity like this, but he never imagined it would come in such a form. As the room buzzed with discussion, a small blonde girl named Emily asked, "How exactly would this work, practically speaking?" Mr. Alex nodded in acknowledgement. "Excellent question, Emily. We'll pair up the men with the women. You'll help each other with the transformation, clothing, makeup, mannerisms. You'll be each other's guide for this journey." As the conversation continued, Maxim found himself barely listening. This was the chance he had been waiting for, but it was so much more than he had ever imagined. Mr. Alex's voice broke into his thoughts. "Maxim, you've been awfully quiet. What are your thoughts on this experiment?" All eyes turned to Maxim, and he felt his cheeks flush as he took a deep breath. "I think it's brilliant, sir," he said quietly. Then with more confidence, he added, I have something to confess." A heavy silence fell over the group, and Maxim's hands trembled slightly as he continued, "I have been cross-dressing in secret for years. This experiment feels like a gift, a chance to finally be myself openly." For a moment, no one spoke. Then, to Maxim's surprise and relief, supportive murmurs and smiles spread among his classmates. "Thank you for sharing that with us, Maxim," he said warmly. "Your experience will be invaluable to the group. Now, let's pair up and begin our preparations." As the group began to form pairs, Maxim was approached by Alina, a tall and athletic girl. "Hey," she said, offering a friendly smile. "Want to be partners? I could use some tips from an expert." Maxim, relieved by her easy acceptance, nodded. "I'd like that," he said, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. Over the next few days, the group threw themselves into preparations for the experiment. Maxim eagerly shared his knowledge with Alina and the others, finding joy in the process. In his dorm room, transformed into a makeshift dressing area. He stood before a full-length mirror, hardly recognizing the reflection staring back at him. Instead, there stood a vision of femininity, long chestnut hair flowing over his shoulders, subtle makeup highlighting his delicate features, and a flowing sundress that fit perfectly. "Wow," Alina breathed, her eyes wide with admiration. "You look amazing." Maxim, now going by Maya for the week, smiled with newfound confidence. "Thanks," she said, her voice softer and higher than usual. "It feels right, you know, like I'm finally seeing the real me." Alina, who had also undergone her own transformation, now sported short, spiky hair and baggy clothes that disguised her feminine figure. "I get it," she said. "It's liberating, isn't it, to step outside the box society's put us in?" As they walked across campus to their first class of the experiment, Maya noticed the stares and whispers that followed them, some curious, others disapproving. But she held her head high, drawing strength from Alina's presence. Upon entering the lecture hall, the group was already assembled, each having undergone their own remarkable transformations. Mr. Alex, now Miss Alex, greeted them with a warm smile, looking elegant in a tailored pantsuit and perfectly styled silver hair. "Welcome, everyone," Miss Alex said, gesturing for the group to take their seats. "Today marks the beginning of our journey. Remember, this is just about appearances. It's about truly stepping into another's shoes and experiencing the world from a different perspective." As the lecture began, Maya found herself more engaged than ever before, her insights shaped by the years of living a double life. During a break, Maya overheard two classmates, formerly Mike and Tom, now Michelle and Tanya, discussing their experiences so far. "I never realized how much effort goes into being a woman," Michelle said, adjusting her bra strap with a grimace. "The clothes, the makeup, the constant awareness of how you're being perceived." Tanya nodded. "Tell me about it. And don't even get me started on heels. How do they walk in those all day?" Maya couldn't help but smile. For her, these challenges were an act of self-expression, each carefully applied. Stroke of mascara or click of heels on the pavement felt like a small victory. As the week continued, Maya found herself blossoming, free from the constraints of hiding her true self. She embraced every aspect of her identity. Her confidence grew daily, and she noticed her classmates becoming more comfortable in their new roles as well. One evening, as Maya and Alina sat together in their shared dorm room, Alina posed a question that had been on both of their minds. What happens after this week is over? Do we just go back to how things were before? Maya took a moment to think. "I don't think I can," she replied softly. "This week has shown me who I truly am. I don't want to hide anymore." Alina reached out and squeezed Maya's hand. "Then don't," she said simply. "You've got friends who support you. We've got your back." Tears filled Maya's eyes as she felt a wave of gratitude and relief. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. The final day of the experiment arrived all too soon, and the group gathered once more in the lecture hall. Miss Alex stood before them with a proud smile. "Well, my dears," she began, "we've come to the end of our experiment. I'd like each of you to share your experiences, what you've learned, and how this week has changed your perspective." One by one, the students spoke, each sharing unique yet interconnected stories of newfound understanding and empathy. When it was Maya's turn, she took a deep breath and began. "This week has been transformative," she said, her voice steady, despite the nerves fluttering in her stomach. "For years, I've been living a double life, hiding my true self, but this experiment gave me the courage to embrace who I really am." She paused and looked around at the supportive faces of her classmates before continuing. "I've decided to continue living as Maya beyond this week. I test who I am, who I've always been, and I am done hiding." The room erupted into applause, and Miss Alex beamed with pride. Maya felt tears of joy streaming down her face as she was enveloped in a group hug, the love and acceptance of her peers overwhelming her. Later, as the group began to disperse, Miss Alex approached Maya. "I'm proud of you," she said gently, placing a hand on her shoulder. "It takes immense courage to be true to oneself in a world that often demands conformity. Remember, your journey is just beginning, and there will be challenges ahead, but you've shown remarkable strength already." Maya nodded, feeling a surge of gratitude. "Thank you, Miss Alex, for everything. This experiment has changed my life." Miss Alex smiled warmly. "That was the hope, for all of you to learn something about yourselves and others. Now go, your new life awaits." For Maya, the experience had been liberating. She reveled in the freedom to express herself fully, unencumbered by societal expectations or her own fears. Her confidence grew with each passing day, and she noticed the same transformation in her classmates. But the journey was far from over. Maya found herself becoming an unofficial spokesperson for the transgender community, speaking at LGBTQ events, sharing her story, and offering support to others. One day, while attending a panel discussion on gender identity, she encountered a small group of protesters outside the building. Fear momentarily gripped her, but she remembered Miss Alex's words about courage. Standing tall, she walked past the protesters, who were eventually blocked by a line of students from the experiment. Alina, Emily, Tom, and the others stood shoulder to shoulder in solidarity. Inside, Maya took her place on the stage with other panelists, her nerves settling as she shared her experiences. "Identity isn't something that's fixed," she said in response to a question. "It's a journey of self-discovery, and sometimes that journey takes us to unexpected places. The most important thing is to be true to yourself, wherever that truth may lead." Afterward, she was surrounded by people eager to share their own stories. As the crowd thinned, Maya spotted Miss Alex, who gave her a proud nod. Later, as Maya reflected on the day's events in her favorite coffee shop, a woman approached her, thanking her for sharing her story. Maya squeezed her hand, offering a soft but firm message: "You're not alone. You're perfect just as you are." As the woman walked away, Maya felt a sense of purpose settle in her heart. Her journey wasn't just about her anymore. It was about those still struggling, still afraid to be their authentic selves. And for the first time in her life, she felt ready to help guide others. The experiment had set her on this path. But now Maya could see a future full of possibilities. She was no longer hidden in secrecy. She was living authentically, with the love and support of her friends and family. The road ahead might be challenging, but Maya knew she was ready to face it, for her true self was now free, and that freedom, that authenticity, was her gift to herself and to others. This is where the story ends. I spend hours of effort creating these kinds of stories, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe my Sissygram Genderbender Stories YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to comment on what you would do if you were in his place. I'm eagerly waiting for your comments, and I personally read all of them. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next story in the next video. Take care and bye.